Hey everyone, it's me, Kai, enjoying life, using the most scuffed setup because I forgot to bring some camera thingamajig for my mic. So I'm at the beach holding this weird ass mic, talking to a camera while no one's surfing because everyone's at work except me. I'm just chilling. But that just makes it perfect. It's a perfect time to talk about Vanguard and where it's at in 2024. I just want to do it something special while I'm on a bit of a holidays. So there's a couple of things going on in Vanguard. I want to talk about, the products that are coming out, the events that are coming out, the just Vanguard formats right now. Just kind of go through that. So it'll probably be a bit longer. I'll put some. I don't think any Bushiroad in-play watches these videos, especially if they go too long. But I'll put some. What do you call it, the timestamps in the descriptions, hopefully, just to kind of sort it out. So what is the first thing I want to talk about? I want to talk about events. So there's some good and bad stuff about events and pricing, right? They're all kind of the thing. I think right now with events, ever since Springfest was so bad, they kind of improved the pricing at least. We saw some of the increased pricing and better top cuts in the upcoming BCS season, which is good. It's good. I think what we shouldn't do is just let it rest and go, we've done enough, because we really haven't. We haven't done enough. I think doing what the pricing is for BCS is just the starting stone. It's like getting in touch with the rest of the world. There's still a lot of good things we can do for events. Right now, I think one of the biggest issues we have is just the two big events that happen in the year. That's BSF and BCS. And what's going to happen to BSF next year? I don't know, because it's not going to be. Actually, it might be spring when it happens in Australia at least, not for the rest of the world. But yeah, BSF is kind of in a weird situation where our next BSF is after Worlds, and that might not be spring. it happened pretty late, just depending on the schedule. But I also think we should have a third circuit, right? And it doesn't have to be a real big circuit. It doesn't have to be like a BCS circuit and a BSF circuit. It just needs something to be more local based. I've always talked about how good the VMC thing was back in Japan, way back during V. And I think it's pretty sad that they kind of got rid of it, at least because of things that happen. But it's not like you can't do another circuit. Maybe one that is more locals based, maybe one that is more competitive, right? There's a lot of things you can do at a local level, and then, kind of bring it in for a big nationals sometime during the year, where it's invite based, so you don't have to pay a lot of money to get venue space, for example. But it still will give good prizes to incentivize people to travel to these events. So I think a third circuit is needed, something that kind of goes on, because another big problem with the BCS and BSF is a lot of places get one in their country, and if that's all you have, that's basically not a lot of time for you to play. So if there are just more events that are happening that are relevant, there's definitely more reasons to spend, right? So that's me with this third circuit. I've been talking about it for quite a bit, and I feel like it's something they really need to implement, because a lot of other games right now, they have circuits going on all year. They're not limited to like a BCS or a BSF circuit. They just have events that qualify you to things. Maybe not Yu-Gi-Oh! For Europe, but at least for Pokemon, there's regionals throughout the year. All of them provide you with points to go to Worlds. Every single locals and big locals that happen, they all provide you for points to Worlds. So it's always relevant, and it's always numerous to have events that are just happening. Same thing for One Piece. I recently started playing One Piece, and I'm really impressed at how many events I can join. I basically join 2 regional events that are happening offline. They have online regionals as well, and those happen all the time. I don't join them because I'm not a huge fan of online regionals. Everyone's seen those videos, right? The videos of all the cheaters and all that. So I'm not a huge fan, but if you want to join and play events, they are available to you. So I think that's good. That's just a good thing. And there's still a lot of regionals coming up. I think, there's one this week in New Zealand that I can technically travel to. There's one in, I think, November in Adelaide. So there's just so many regional events that I can join that doesn't happen for Bushiroad. And I can understand, the IP is different. One Piece is big. Vanguard, not as big. So when you have regional events for One Piece, they're getting maxed out 300, 500, at least for Australia. In America, I'm pretty sure it's different. But at least for Vanguard, have more events that we can at least participate in. One thing I do like is they have the release tournaments where you can only play ride lines from the latest sets. That's cool, but I feel like that's not enough. I feel like we need more support for every single Vanguard format, at least, standard, big, but also premium, right? We've seen a lot of people, at least in the West, care a lot of premium, and I feel like the format's really not getting that much love. So having more events for that can at least get people motivated to buy cards, try out new things, and just have fun. just have fun. So that's me with events. More events is better. I think World's events as well. It's coming out. Everyone's thinking it's like Vanguard said, they haven't confirmed anything. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out very soon. But one thing I want to say is that when we have these events as well, especially World, since it's the only event that happens for the biggest event for Vanguard, at least, right? You got to make sure it's always better than the last. You can't go back. You can't like backtrack, backstep, because once you do that, it shows less confidence in your product. So if we have it at like Daivanga Sai, I hope we just have, you know, I hope that the quality is just as good as it was compared to before. Right? And at least the same, if not better. Always improving, never go backwards. One thing I also want to say about events is, this isn't Vanguard related, but this is more Shadowverse related. So that Grand Showdown as well, this is one thing that I think I've been talking about quite a lot, but I feel like that Grand Showdown that they're doing, there's not enough support or marketing or whatever that they've been doing for it. It's just been, I don't even see it. It's happening at the end of this month, the first one for NA, but I'm not sure how much they've promoted it. I really don't know what's happening with it, except if I actively search it. And if you're doing a continental levels event like this, just a big event overall, you need to go all the way. Right? You can't just go half steps, right? When I check some of the event schedule, it's like, you know, 1 day event, you get a nice card for a participation prize, it's best of one, top 8. Is this really a grand showdown, or is it just like a glorified locals? I don't know, because there is no way I'm paying money to fly to America to participate in this. Am I going to fly to Singapore to participate in this? Probably not as well, because to be fair, the like BCS prices look better than Grand Showdown. So if you're gonna do a big event, you have to make sure you go all the way with it, and you can't just say, let's go halfway and call it a day, because then it becomes a big waste of money. And when you make big events, you have to make sure you execute, and the amount of effort that goes into it is like not just 2x, it's more like 4x, like way more, because way more money is invested, but there's also way more manpower that you want to happen, and you want to make sure that the event goes off without a hitch and it's satisfying for everyone involved, right? The worst thing people want to do is they travel to this event and they go, it was really boring, so much for a continental event. Like, you have to understand that the scale of this should be larger than BCS regionals. This is continental level, because you're having it one in each continent. And I think the tide is going up, so I might be bad. But yeah, it's like a continental event, so it needs to have continental level support, as well as, you know, the entry price and all that. I can understand, sure, it's a free entry, so the participation prize is bad. No, that can't be it. You can't do that. Even though you have free entry, you can't have bad participation prizes. I think overall, when it comes to entry costs, entry fees, that is the least that people care about, because they're already traveling so much to go to this event. They're paying money for flights, fuel, hotel, accommodation, time spent preparing for the event. They're paying $30, $60, or whatever the price is. They don't really care, because they're already spending so much for everything else. I can guarantee you, for other events, Pokemon, they're charging $60 for this, and they're getting over 2,000 players at these events. Sold out immediately. One Piece as well, sold out immediately. For Australia, 60 AUD for it. They give you 6 packs. They give you 6 packs for joining. That's like, one pack is $10. That's a retail price, but you're paying for your worth. No one cares. The potential return on these products is there, because a pack, you might get nothing. You might get a $1,000 rare or something. And so as long as the potential value is there, people don't really care. But if you're making these events and you're losing so much money, you might want to rethink your strategy of not charging entry costs. And if that's impacting prizes and participation prizes, for example, then you really have to change that. Entry fee, like free entry fee, was really cool back in 2007, but now the market has changed. It's 2024. Everyone is doing all this entry stuff, giving you random stuff for joining. They give you a backpack sometimes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's insane. So I think it's important that you rethink that strategy if it's not working, and just get with the times. That's just kind of my rant. But in terms of the Grand Showdown, and probably what it should have been, is they should have just made a bigger local Shadowverse circuit where it's actually relevant for you to join. Because remember, you can't just make, unless you're going balls to the walls and just making a huge tournament with like a $1 million prize, no one's gonna join unless the prizes are amazing. So instead of making your, in terms of Shadowverse, I guess the game is not as big as the other games right now. unless you make a big prize pool, like no one's joining the tournament. But at the same time, that doesn't really grow the game at the local level. A lot of people just join that and just call it a day. So instead, I think you should be focusing more on the local side. And that's pretty much where I think Bushiroad's weakness has always been, in that the LGSs, because of all the reboots and all that, they kind of felt bad about stocking Bushiroad products. So in some of the distributors just poor. I've heard about the Europe stuff. So they need to regain trust back into the local scene. And in order to do that, you have to put bodies in stores, get people to buy product, get people to join these tournaments, and that just kind of makes like a loop. When people want to join tournaments, they'll buy more product in order to satisfy themselves for joining tournaments with the latest cards, and then they'll go there and then buy more product, and they'll buy sleeves and all that. So it's like a circle of life. That's why I'm saying the third circuit, the third big event, should be more on the local scene. Imagine like Pokemon League Cups and League Challenges. You have a bunch of monthly tournaments, quarterly tournaments that qualify you to specific things, and then that kind of leads you to unsponsored Worlds invites and things like that. So that's kind of my plan with third circuit events. Moving on to products. So one of the biggest issues with products recently has been entry-level product into Vanguard. And I mean, they've announced that Virgula trial deck, which is a good start, and that's like the bare minimum though. We haven't had non-stride deck entry-level product for a very long time. Now you could say quick start decks, those aren't product. They're literally not product. I see a lot of them just sitting on shelves because they're bad. Like they're just no one wants them. The only reason why they want them is for the energy generator. Virgula start deck is okay. It's getting us on the start line again for entry-level product. But you know what I'm going to really complain about is the timing. So we're going to have start deck. I think the starter deck is coming out in November, something like that. And then we have the Nairo set. Is that coming out like end of January? Or like in early February or something like that? So we have all our starter deck product in the first quarter of, like 1 quarter of the year. And then do we just have like nothing for the rest of the year until the next stride deck? That's not good enough, right? That's honestly not good enough. We need to have like start deck product or starter product or entry-level product pumping out every couple of months. Every couple of months, we need more and more and more. So just whenever you want to enter Vanguard, you can just buy a product and it'd be good. I guess I also have to talk about timing. Something about timing that's really annoying me back in events is that all of the AO events, there's like so many of it happening in December. Bro, spread it out. Spread it out like America. Have one every month. So that's just the main thing. We don't have really any starter deck product, entry-level product. We need more. We honestly need more. I've been talking about it with like DF and all that. Something that'd be really cool is you have so many of those weak ride lines from before, like Barrow Magnus now, Bath Sagara. We haven't seen anything for that except for a couple of cards. We get like Magnolia support randomly. And when we pull the R Magnolia support from like set 1, we just go, what a day. What a waste of us. What a waste. What about Eugene product? I think I mentioned this in another video. Just make them like a starter deck, release them every couple of months, give them good support, and that'd be good. We had like, honestly, the Office decks, Office Fabniel and all that stuff back then, they were actually good decks. They were good start decks. The product packaging was what was wrong. If they released it as like a $20 deck, with just bare bones the deck, I think that'd be great. We don't need sleeves. We don't need deck boxes, especially the deck boxes they give us. Those deck boxes, they're plastic. They don't, well, every deck box is plastic, but they're really flimsy plastic. We don't need that. Just give us the deck, and it's fine. Well, everyone will be happy. I can give this deck, get the cards I need, reprint some important stuff. Good times. So we just need more of that spread out through the whole year, because they released 3 of those in 1 month, and then that was it, right? I think, funnily enough, the best starter deck product that we've released so far is the premium start decks, because we get so much value from them. They're an upgrade to some of the old sets. They contain a lot of cards that you need. So, funnily enough, the best start deck that we've received in this entire year so far has been in premium. And maybe the Virgula stuff will change it. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's been great. It comes with like I think it comes with a cool deck box and like a cool like card holder. So Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. The best start deck product has been premium. Speaking of premium product, we need more premium product. Premium's getting pretty stale, but I'll talk more about premium later. But more premium product would be nice because, you know, people care about premium in the West. So give us, maybe if Japan doesn't care, at least give us something to care about. It could come in the form of a weird thing like a reprint set, for example. If your premium stuff is not selling in Japan, make a reprint set that has some, like, reprint some really cool standard stuff, like a festival collection, but you could put in one new stride that's for premium only, right? Or one G-Guardian that's for premium only. And that'd be fine. I think people will be happy. They're getting some, if you're not a premium player, you're still getting some good reprints, maybe some new cards, a new Regulus piece, like in Festival Collection. If you are a premium player, then you're getting some really cool new strides. You can also reprint the stride bearers, for example. So like Asha, reprint that with an alternate art, give it like a swimsuit art, bam, instant sales. People are gonna buy that because they can run it in their standard stride decks as the main grade 3, $300, bam, easy. That set is selling out of the pocket and, you know, premium stuff is good. So you can do something like that. Just use a bit of creativity and it'll go a long way. It'll honestly go a long way. The other thing with product that I feel like is kind of an issue is just collab product. Why are they coming out so late? It feels kind of bad. We don't know when the collab stuff is coming in. Sometimes they're pretty crucial. The set value goes down a lot if we don't have V-Spo for set 3, for example. And some of these collab stuff, when they come out, they're already irrelevant. So I don't know how to actually do this because this is like a collab. This is like the problem with collabs is we don't know when they're gonna get supported, when they're gonna come out, and when they come out, are they even relevant? Right? Token Rambu set 2, when that came out, did anyone care? I don't know. It's kind of bad. So they definitely need a big improvement on that. And also, set releases. The set releases have been fluctuating so much. Overdress was really hype when we had that one month difference in set release because we were figuring out like a newish format in a way. But now we're at 3 months. The hype is gone. Divine's anime season started, then we got our start deck product. What's the point? Our Divine set 1 came out after Divine's season 1 ended. I don't know. Well, like I know it's pretty hard to do a worldwide release. Not even Pokemon and One Piece do worldwide release for their products. But if you did, you'd have a really good advantage over your competition. And that's something you'd want to consider. Pokemon's kind of weird because sometimes they have nearly worldwide releases and then it fluctuates based on stuff. We've had releases that were like 1 week apart. That was really hype. New stuff was getting discovered, but yeah, 3 to 4 months, I think that's getting pretty excessive, you know? So yeah, please work on that. That's definitely something that you can do better on, but it's also something that I feel like I've been saying a lot as well. One more thing to touch about pricing is I feel like you could do way more with pricing. So alternate art stuff. I feel like alternate art cards would be great. You can have alternate art packs of like energy cyclers that you give to top 16, for example, and that'd be worth something. It'd be pretty easy for you to print for you, but you can give it out to a lot of events and bulk print them. People will be very, very happy. You can involve like the customers on what they want to see reprinted as alt art, even for things like Worlds prizes. Imagine if the winner of Worlds gets to pick a card in their deck, and that gets the alt art championship card art for the next year. So it's like League of Legends, the skins, champion skins, but this is for Vanguard art. Vanguard. So if I won with what's a cool card, with a Chronojet, and I go, man, I want my Chronojet to be champion skin for next year. The prize for next year can be that Chronojet, or you know the top prize for BCS can be that alternate Chronojet. It look really cool, limited quantities. It'd be crazy. It'd be amazing. They can do that for a lot of things, like Worlds prizes. You can have like, you know, or I think Magic, they had the Worlds winners got a card that resembled themselves. You could do that too. Have like a starter that resembles the winner and just gets like commission an artist to do it. That can be a nice promo for attending events and things like that. So I think there's so many more creative ways they can do this without going, we need to design a totally new card. Like when Pokemon is giving $10,000, you can't match that. You can't give $10,000 to coming fourth or whatever. But you can do something interesting like that, which doesn't really have a money value associated to it. Well, everything has a money value associated, but there's kind of charm to it that you don't really get from here's money, here's Luffy alt art, here's a house down payment, for example. it's something cool that only you can do because Vanguard is your IP. And of course, the artist, I think, also has a bit of a say in it, but maybe get a list of what the winners would like, and you can make a nice skin, and that kind of just, that kind of makes it so you really want to win. I want to make sure my waifu, Anj or Luquia or whatever, gets an alt art champion skin for next year. That immortalizes my win for a while, and yeah, I think that'll be really cool. I honestly think that'll be really cool. So that's just my ideas from random, really cool worlds prizing. And overall, just get creative with prizes, alt art, everything. You have swimsuits, Valentine's Day. What there's I don't know what kind of holidays are there that people care about. There's like you can have a gingerbread suit, Anj or whatever. I don't know, like anything. Okay, swimsuit Luad. Like there we go. Volleyball Rising Nova. Yeah, there's heaps of cool stuff like that. Just think outside of the box a bit. So I think that's pretty much all with product. Let's kind of talk about standard. Let's talk about standard. Standard is cool. So one of the big, I think standard is rising, and a lot of players are playing a lot of standard. It's great. We've seen the numbers rise. I think what's annoying me about standard, apart from the collab thing, is that the game is getting slightly more complex, but is lacking depth. What do I mean by that? How do you make a game harder without making it deeper? So one thing I noticed with a lot of standard Vanguard right now is every single deck comes with a crest, a token crest, a thing that just makes alternate rules. Here's a new keyword that really doesn't matter. Here's new keywords coming back. So we're getting a lot of mechanics bloat, keyword bloat, I guess, that's kind of cool, but at the same time it isn't. If I'm a new player, I'm coming in, I'm going, what is overcharge? What is blah blah blah? What is darkness? What is dominate? Can you give me the cliff notes on dominate? And that's not good. That's not good. But at the same time, I feel like the game's not getting any deeper because one, well, I'll just throw it out. I have to say this in every single video. Over trigger, pretty bad. Crit triggers, overall just triggers are deciding a lot of game states right now because the game itself, like standard, there's not really that many ways for a skilled player to really differentiate themselves, and a lot of it can just be washed away. A lot of min-maxing that you can do in standard, I feel like, is good. It's still important, but it doesn't really change the outcome of the match as you'd want it to be. That hasn't always been the case, but sometimes you feel like standard is just really outside your control, and because we have a lot of things like best of one, top card, and all that, that's just how it is. It's very hard to be consistent in standard. That's my opinion. What is an example of a simple yet deep game? So I'll just throw it out there. One Piece. There's a lot of depth in the game. The lines on cards, not long. It's like 1-2 lines, very simple effects. The most broken card in One Piece actually, that got banned recently, is a card that just discard one, draw one. So that's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. But because of all these simple effects, combined with the deep mechanics in the game, it does allow for a lot of min-maxing to actually matter and allow players to be very consistent. So that's kind of what I want Vanguard standard to really expand upon. Maybe cut down on all the new ride lines. I mean, I know new ride lines are cool, but Lescari is pretty sad. It got one support in like set 2, and now we're never seeing anything for it anymore, except for Alvina or something like that. But yeah, we have so many ride lines, so much mechanics bloat. Maybe we should simplify it. We have 2 new mechanics that got released this year, which is Divine Skill and Energy. Divine Skill's not really a mechanic, let's be real. It's like a once per game mechanic, which is, we've seen it a lot. It's not too deep. Energy is kind of okay. It's a new cost thing. I feel like it might be a bit hard for them to balance. We're seeing how good energy is with things like Shoujo Doji, where you just do it. It's very clear what the combo is. Same with Eva. Very, very clear what you're using the energy for, because it's just designed that way. If you're not playing it that way, then you're playing it wrong. So overall, energy hasn't really been that deep, in my opinion. You don't really have to manage costs for energy. And in fact, energy might be pretty bad because a lot of costs that would have required counterblast now is replaced by energy, right? For example, Shoujo Doji Grade 3, it's all energy costs. It's not a counterblast cost. So it means that a lot of things you might want to do to deny your opponents from doing something doesn't happen anymore, which is bad. No counterplay is bad, which also contributes to the overall issue with it's hard to be consistent in standard Vanguard. That's just how it is. So that's kind of my gripes with standard. They need to get deeper. The gameplay needs to get deeper, not wider. I mean, wide is cool, but in a way where, like, you know, there's so many decks that you can play, but if they all do the same thing, is there really a point, right? This is the deck that restands. This is the deck that restands. This is the deck that gets 4 drives with 3 attacks. This is the deck that gets 3 attacks and does triple drive. If you're a standard player or Vanguard player, really, just like and subscribe to the channel. I remember to do that this time. Bam. All right, let's move on to premium. So one thing with premium right now is that a lot of people are saying it's quite stale. There's no product released for it except for the great entry-level premium start deck that was released this year, which is the greatest. Thank you for entry-level start deck. There is no product though. We need product. It's getting boring. The format is just getting stale. There's no way around it. And if you're not supporting a game, it's gonna become like V, where people will just go, you know, if Bushiroad doesn't want to support this, why should we bother playing? And it's sad that Japan doesn't care about premium as much, but then again, they get no events. So it's like a catch. What's the catch? 22 or 33? I don't know. It's like a circular loop. No events means no one cares. No one cares means no events. I feel like that's squandering a huge opportunity for Bushiroad. Premium, having multiple formats like this is one of the biggest advantage I feel like that Bushiroad has over other games, because every other game is just one format except for Magic, which is actually Magic is only one format. It's called Commander. No one cares about anything else. But yeah, no, seriously, Vanguard has this unique scenario where people care about the premium format, especially in the West. Last year as well for Worlds. Last year for Worlds, people were very interested in the premium stream. It was crazy. So if they don't do anything about premium, I did that poll. I did that poll before on Twitter. Of course, on Twitter, who really cares? Who uses Twitter that much? But I think the result was that the question that I asked was, if premium did not exist, would all the premium players move to standard? And 30% of the players said they just quit. And like 70 or 69 players, right, want to be more exact, said they'll just play standard. But a lot of them did say in the comments that they'll move to standard but play like way less. And when you mean by play way less, it's they won't play as much. They really probably will just quit. Let's be real. There's so many opportunities out there. You can play Lucana, you can play One Piece, you can play Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. There are so many games out there that you can play. You don't have to play standard if you don't like it. So I feel there'll be more people who'd quit, and it'd be a devastating thing. But you should embrace that we have premium. You should just embrace the different ways you can engage with Vanguard, because I feel like you don't really have the opportunity to say no. You can't say no to this, because Vanguard itself is not that big. If people are engaging in Vanguard in these different formats, then just keep them. It's not like V, where it's just this really weird format that everyone wanted gone. Premium is actually something that people want to stay. They want to play it, they just don't have an opportunity to play it. And when they do now, it's just the same thing they've been playing. So make some more premium product, make some good premium ban list, and hopefully the format becomes better. One thing I do want to say as well is with ban list and the overall, I guess, English handling of stuff, especially ban list, right? You guys can be a bit more creative, think outside the box. Even with products, you can think outside the box. Overall, think outside the box. That's just what I'm going to say. Think outside the box. Let's for example, ban list. You can just copy Japan. It'd be the most predictable thing, but it really wouldn't sit by well for a lot of the players that are playing the current game, right? Let's go back to when, you know, Shiranui got restricted in Japan, but not in English, because Luwad, Sergon just came out, and you don't want to hit it. You could have hit other things. You could have just half banned Shiranui, for example, like say no OT, no Drag Vader for Shiranui. That would have been a pretty creative hit. Would have lowered the power of Shiranui, and then you could have done another hit for Luwad to slightly lower the power of Sergon to keep everything in check. And that format might have been insanely good, right? A checked Shiranui or a slightly weaker Shiranui, a slightly weaker Luwad with a bunch of other decks that are available, that could have been a very good meta. But if you just follow Japan, that's never going to happen. Also with things like product, yeah? Like I talk about the reprint product with ride lines and all that. You could print promos and things. Just don't do the mask. Don't do the mask set. You can do anything else but the mask set. But I feel like you could do a lot more entry-level product stuff for the West as well, because we desperately need it. We desperately need that product. So, I don't know. Think outside the box a bit. Engage the audience. I've been talking about how way back we had the polls for clans that asked basically the entire player base, what is your favorite card for each nation, for each clan, and they created sleeves, deck boxes, mats, play mats for them. And you know, that was really cool. It engaged a lot of the audience to do stuff. It gave Bushiroad an idea on what people wanted, like Chi Girl Adelaide, and I think that was perfect. That was great. That was a great way to engage the audience and create new product. We don't get that anymore. We just get stuff from Japan, which is kind of sad. And the once per year mask set, which is not good. Don't do the mask set. Never do the mask set. If you're going to do the mask set, hit me up. I'll tell you not to do it, or I can at least tell you how to make it slightly better. Like put in like 10 booster packs or something, so it's worth it. But yeah, don't do that mask set ever again. And I guess the last thing I do want to talk about, and that's been on a lot of people's minds, is D-Days. D-Days 2. That's the crazy new drama that's been popping off Twitter. I've seen so many posts about it. I'm gonna throw it out there. D-Days 2 is not very good. It doesn't look very good. And this is probably not English's fault. This is probably not Bushiroad International's fault, but maybe get our thoughts to the JP side and see what happens, right? Because I'm gonna be real. I feel like, let me break things down. This is just my theory. It's a game, no, not a game theory, but it's just my theory. So take it with a grain of salt. I feel like people are mad at D-Days 2 not because D-Days 2 is a bad product, but that's just one of the reasons why they dislike it, but because they're being, it feels like their intelligence is being insulted, right? When D-Days 1 came out, it wasn't that great in a way, but it was like the first time it came out for English, worldwide release on Steam, crazy. But then all this stuff happened with things like the DLC, the price, all that. And then when D-Days 2 comes out, nothing has changed. So it's not a great product, it's a bad product, but then where the customers, everyone involved with Vanguard are going, you know, you could have spent that money on D-Days 2 on literally anything else, because there's a lot of things that could be improved, and it would have been better. Think about it. The money spent on D-Days 2 could be spent on better prizes, more products, better products being released, better events, but it instead got spent on D-Days 2. And if you're not fixing any of the issues with D-Days 1 and still coming with things like a release date for sets that are 6 months behind, who is gonna buy it? They gave you a pass with D-Days 1. Some people gave you a pass with D-Days 1, but for D-Days 2, I don't think they are. Let's break down some of the D-Days 2 issues. So people are saying it's like the old Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships or Tag Force sets where you just buy it and it's good. You have fun and that's it. The thing is, those came out with the latest cards. We didn't have to wait 6 months after the card was released before it got played. So there was that value associated with it. And also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are very, very expensive. $2,000 for a deck, or you can buy the latest PSP game that came out with the latest cards. Sure, I'm buying the PSP game. There's a lot of value for that. D-Days, not that much. You're paying top dollar for a set that came out 6 months ago. And then you have to pay like more and more money for more DLCs for the latest sets that are coming out 6 months ago. So that's not good. The other argument is that D-Days is good for the people who don't have a locals or live very, very far away from a locals or don't have anyone to play Vanguard with, but they can at least engage with Vanguard this way. And I'll put it this way. You make any Vanguard product and it'll do the same thing. It'll literally be the same thing. Think about what you could actually do with D-Days or overall an official sim, a Master Duel-like sim for Vanguard. Let me be clear here. Master Duel is not up to date. It is not up to date with the TCG, but it has its own format. So there's still value in playing that. Also, it's very, very accessible for everyone to play. So that's one of the big pluses. So one of the things we have to address here is that Vanguard is still not very accessible, but with a sim, it could be more accessible. It could be a way to get people in the game. That's what people really, really want. But if you wanted to make it like Master Duel, then you can. Think of the possibilities you can do with a Master Duel like sim for Vanguard. You could have something like you can include old cards for one, and then you can put it with the new D cards, and you can have its own format. You can try out new things, new formats to play, have like formats where there's like no force markers or whatever, and just try out new things, experiment. People will be, you can kind of just revert back to D if you just want to play with D cards only, but there's so many things you can do with that then, because you can just engage with Vanguard, it'd be a totally new format, and create new content with it. You can teach people how to play, and it'd be hopefully affordable. There's a lot of monetization systems you can do. You can have people pay for it. That's not $70. If it's $70 or whatever, like if it's those new game pricing, then it better be really, really good, which currently D-Days 2 isn't, which is why a lot of people are complaining. But otherwise you can be a lower price. I think a lot of people are jumping on the microtransactions hopium, and I mean, I'm personally not a huge fan of microtransactions. If you look at what happened with Zero, yeah, I think it speaks for itself, right? So I'm not a huge fan of microtransactions, but if it's fair microtransactions, maybe it's okay, even though microtransactions aren't always fair. But basically, let's not talk about the money part here, but if there was a good way for people to engage at least with the Vanguard game, that'd be good. Especially if it was a way to play Vanguard that was not just standard, playing in a boring format that we've played for a very, very long time, but something fresh and new that people can engage with, and you can run tournaments that. You can make that a relevant kind of game for competitive play. That's what Master Duel is doing. They have their Master Duel, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Worlds just happened, they have their own Master Duel format that happened, and as long as the format doesn't require you to spend like 24 hours a day to qualify for Worlds, grinding the ladder for 2 weeks, then I think it's good. I think it's good. So there's a lot of creativity they can do there with Master Duel that I think that something that's like Master Duel that they're not doing, and it's a huge missed opportunity for Vanguard in general. So I guess that's kind of my quick thoughts on Master Duel. There's a lot of things that have already been said that, you know, I don't think I'll need to say, but that's basically all the things I really want to say about D-Days 2. It's just not great at the moment. It's not good, and I don't think they're going to change it because it's coming out in January. So yeah, that's it. So I think that's a huge rant for me. As you can see, I think the tide is definitely getting closer, so I think I have to move now. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope the waves aren't too loud, but hey, it's nature, right? So thanks for listening, everyone, and I'll see you all next time, all right? Bye.